winning the race to be the world's leading provider of 5G.
Very high frequency spectrum as the basis for 5G.
So the 5G is going to be a step up from 4G.
"5G is the fifth generation mobile network. It is the most recent wireless standards, which is designed to connect virtually everyone on Earth and everything together. And by everything, we include machines, devices, and critical infrastructures like electricity networks, transport, health, and defense systems. This new technology is meant to deliver faster data speed, ultra-low latency, and enormous network capacity. It means you can actually download your favorite movie to as fast as 3 seconds compared to the 3Gs and 4Gs, which will take even hours to download. However, the influx of these high-end cell phones and high-speed networks have given rise to a fear of its deleterious harm to people. And strange enough, there was a rumor about the massive cover-up to hide this dangerous effect. But can really 5G make us very sick? Or is this another example of conspiracy theory again? This is the interesting case of the 5G technology, and this is Project Debunk. To give you a proper perspective of this 5G scare, let me take you for a moment to one of the causes that probably inspires the rise of this 5G scare to a point that may have led to the present public fear experience around the globe. It was an article published in November 5, 2018. The author, Erin Elizabeth, published her viral post entitled "Hundreds of Birds Dead During 5G Experiments in Hague, Netherlands." In the said article, Elizabeth, being a longtime activist, claimed that about 300 birds have died sometime in October 2018 as a result of a 5G testing in Hague, Netherlands. Allegedly, all birds on top of the trees in the city park and on the ground died. As a consequence, the public scare turned to the supposed newly built 5G post on the building on the other side of the park and the supposed 5G broadcast, which was tested at the time of this bird's death. Supposedly, the 5G post in the near train is being tested to see the extent if the 5G broadcast can adversely affect the power of any equipment on and around the station. This issue gets weirder as an Indian sci-fi blockbuster 2.0 amplified fear when it hits the cinema just days later. The film depicted an electromagnetic radiation from cell towers to be capable of wiping out bird population as it is in human lives. Since then, there have been series of doubts and oppositions as to the safety of 5G technology to the public health and safety. What do the conspiracy theorists claim? Along with these public scares comes various theories surrounding the rollout of 5G technology. To mention, one theory claimed that the 5G waves technology was secretly developed by government as a weapon to threaten and control the people. Others also associate 5G to the coronavirus, alleging that the coronavirus was intentionally released so 5G could easily be rolled out due to lockdown. Sadly, all these theories had driven some anti-5G believers to such extent of holding protests during the pandemic and random attack on 5G towers around the world. As reported by the New York Times in one article published on April 10, 2020, on April 2, a wireless tower was set ablaze in Birmingham. The following day, a fire was reported at 10 o'clock in the evening at a telecommunication box in Liverpool. Another hour later, an emergency call came in about another cell tower in Liverpool that was going up in flames. Across Britain, more than 30 acts of ransom and vandalism have taken place against wireless towers and other telecom gears. An analysis made by the New York Times found out that over 487 Facebook communities, 84 Instagram accounts, 52 Twitter accounts, and dozens of other posts and videos pushing the conspiracy. The Facebook communities added nearly 500,000 new followers over the past 2 weeks. But the question is, why are people so scared of the 5G? The terror surrounding the 5G scare is not really a new story. In 1970s, the subject of terror was power lines, as low-frequency electromagnetic fields emanates from them all the time. And now, to the anti-5G believers, we have a new terror, the 5G technology. So, why are people so scared of the 5G? The answer is simple. People freak out to radio frequency radiation. 5G is just another form of radio frequency radiation, but unlike 4G mobile phones, 5G's millimeter waves won't travel really far. So, for 5G to work efficiently, more 5G antennas must be constructed. On this notion, anti-5G activists claim the direction of 5G antennas will now expose people to extreme radiation. First, let's check on the veracity of the article posted by Erin Elizabeth with a question in mind. Did the birds really die due to 5G technology testing? As it turned out, Erin Elizabeth's article came out to be just the re-emergence of an already published series of Facebook posts made by Jan Kules, who is noted to run several anti-5G conspiracy websites and social media pages. Jan Kules may be the right person to whom we can attribute this 5G kills bird phenomenon. In a Facebook post, Kules claimed that a recent mass die-off of European starlings in the Netherlands was caused by a 5G antenna test. Among other claims, he suggested that the devastating November 18 California wildfires were actually triggered by a direct energy weapon as a retaliation from the elite class to punish the state for vetoing mass 5G deployment plan. And then, he tied the factual existence of unexplained bird death at Eugene's Park in Hague, Netherlands to an unexistent test to a next-generation cell phone network that Kules claimed to have taken simultaneous to the bird's death. But is this really what happened? Researchers at the Natural History Museum in Rotterdam and Wageningen via veterinary research conducted autopsies on the dead birds. In their findings, the research confirmed that the official cause of death was bleeding as a result of trauma. The research also found traces of toxin from the seeds of a berry that birds normally eat. However, it is not confirmed whether the toxins contributed to their death. So, as to the question whether 5G demonstration resulting to the massive death of birds, the Dutch Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate Policy declared that there were no 5G tests in October 2018 in The Hague. The occurrence of massive bird death is not really considered as unusual, as it happens in many cases. In 2010, 75 bird crash landed in a small area in Somerset. During the same year, around 5,000 starlings and blackbirds were found dead in Arkansas. Massive death of birds may likely due to various causes other than radiation. And what about the supposed 5G post in the near train station? When a fact-checking website Snoop.com reached out via Twitter to the Dutch company NS, the operator of the train station allegedly involved in the 5G test, a representative told that they were unaware that recent 5G tests were conducted at this location. Now to the question, is 5G making us sick? And what is really the point of this 5G scare? Well, the primary reason of 5G scare is radiation. But to understand this concept more, scientists classified ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. Higher frequency waves like X-rays and gamma rays are ionizing, which means they can cause damage to the DNA in human cells. Probably, this is the very reason why they are believed that to a certain level it can cause cancer. On the other hand, the lower frequency waves, like the radio waves coming from mobiles, are non-ionizing radiation, which means it is unlikely that radio waves from mobile phones or base stations increase the risk of any health problems. In an article released by FDA, a federal government website, it provides that non-ionizing radiation does not have enough energy to break chemical bonds or strike electrons from atoms. scientific consensus show that non-ionizing radiation is not a carcinogen or below the radio frequency exposure limit set by FCC. Non-ionizing radiation has not been shown to cause any harm to people. In 2011, 30 international scientists who are part of the working group of the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IERC, being part of the World Health Organization, classified RF-EMF as possibly carcinogenic. But despite the classification of RF-EMF as possibly carcinogenic to human, WHO in a separate health risk assessment state that to date, no adverse health effects from low-level, long-term exposure to radio frequency or power frequency fields have been confirmed, but scientists are actively continuing to research this area. The World Health Organization has issued its No Adverse Effect Declaration. However, to this date, we are leaving the table open. We cannot close the issue as scientists still continues to research about it.